If there's one thing I've learned about the brutal, magnetic dance between men and women, it's this. Your value is not measured by what you do for her. It's not in the flowers, the expensive dinners, the constant availability. Your true value, the kind that sinks into her bones and makes her mind race, is forged in the fire of what you refuse to do. It's measured by the boundaries you hold, the respect you command for yourself, and the mission you place above all else. Most men get this backward. They think the path to a woman's heart is paved with accommodation, with endless giving, with a willingness to bend and break themselves into a shape they think she desires. They become performing seals, jumping through hoop after hoop for a scrap of validation, and then stand there confused when she gives her attention to the man who seems to do nothing at all. But he isn't doing nothing. He's doing everything right by doing less. He's holding a frame she can feel safe in, a frame built not of gifts and compliments, but of unshakable principle. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to stop trading your power for temporary approval and start building the kind of unshakable self-respect that commands genuine attraction. The first myth that traps you, the one whispered in every romantic comedy and sold to you by a culture that wants you soft, is that relentless pursuit is romantic. You've seen it 1,000 times. The guy who won't take no for an answer, who bombards her with texts, who shows up unannounced, who wears her down with the sheer force of his attention until she finally realizes he's the one. This is a lie. In the real world, relentless pursuit isn't romance. It's a flashing neon sign that says, I have nothing else going on in my life, and my entire emotional state depends on your response. A high-value man understands that his attention is his most valuable currency. He doesn't throw it around like cheap confetti. He invites, he doesn't chase. He'll send a clear, concise text. I'd like to take you out for a drink Wednesday or Thursday night. Let me know what works. If she agrees, the logistics are set, and he goes silent. He doesn't text her good morning the next day. He doesn't ask how her day is going. He doesn't send her a meme he thought was funny. Why? Because the plan is set. His interest has been stated. Any communication between now and the date is just insecure noise, a nervous need for reassurance. He goes back to his life. He hits the gym. He works on his business. He meets up with his friends. He creates a vacuum. And in that vacuum, her mind starts to work. Is he still interested? Most guys would be texting me. I wonder what he's doing. You see, attraction isn't built in the space of constant contact. It's built in the space of absence. It's in the wondering. The man who chases fills all the space, suffocating any mystery, any tension. He's an open book, and a boring one at that. He puts her on a pedestal and communicates non-verbally that she is the prize and he is the beggar. A high-value man operates from a place of mutual assessment. He is deciding if he likes her just as much as she is deciding if she likes him. His frame is, I have an amazing life that I'd potentially like you to be a part of. Come spend some time with me and let's see if we vibe. The chaser's frame is, please validate me. Please give me a chance to prove I'm worthy of your time. One is magnetic, the other is repulsive. Stop trying to prove your worth and start assuming it. State your intent and then fall back. Let her be the one to step forward into your world. This desperate need for validation often bleeds into the second deadly sin, becoming her emotional dumping ground. She calls you at 11 p.m., crying about her boss, her toxic ex, or a fight with her best friend. And you, thinking you're being the good guy, the sensitive one, you listen. You listen for hours. You offer advice. You say, he's an idiot. You deserve so much better. You soak up all her negative energy like a sponge, and in your mind, you're building a connection. You think, she trusts me. She's opening up to me. This is how intimacy is built. You are tragically wrong. You are not building intimacy. You are applying for a job. The position is unpaid therapist, and the benefits are non-existent. A high-value man has no interest in this role. He understands the profound difference between a woman sharing a vulnerability and a woman using him as a trash can for her emotional chaos. He has boundaries. When she starts spiraling into a vortex of complaints, he doesn't sit there and absorb it for 2 hours. He listens for a few minutes, then calmly redirects. That sounds tough. It seems like you have a lot to figure out. We should talk when you're in a better headspace. Or, more directly, I'm not the right person to talk to about your issues with other men. That's not a conversation I'm interested in having. This isn't cruel, it's a profound act of self-respect. You are communicating that your time and mental energy are valuable, and that your presence is a place for positive connection, not a repository for negativity. You are her potential lover, not her platonic girlfriend. Your role is to be a rock, a mountain of calm, masculine energy that she can lean against, not a swamp that she can drag down into the mud with her. When you endlessly absorb her drama, you lose all polarity. You become neutered in her eyes. The sexual tension evaporates and is replaced by a comfortable, sterile familiarity. You become safe, predictable, and desire cannot coexist with predictability. You become the man she calls to complain about the man she's actually sleeping with. Your refusal to be her emotional tampon isn't about being a jerk. It's about preserving the very tension and respect necessary for attraction to exist. It's a silent declaration that you are a man with a purpose. A man who doesn't have the time or the bandwidth to get bogged down in drama that isn't his. And that purpose is the anchor of your entire existence. The third thing a high-value man never ever does is abandon his mission for a woman. Your mission is whatever you are striving for that is bigger than yourself. Your business, your art, your physical discipline, your legacy. This is the masculine core that gives your life direction and meaning. It is the single most attractive thing about you. A woman is drawn to a man's drive like a moth to a flame. So what does the average man do the second he gets a flicker of female attention? He pours water on his own flame. He was supposed to go to the gym, but she texts, "Want to come over?" and he drops the weights and runs to her. He was supposed to spend Saturday grinding on his side hustle, but she says she's bored, and suddenly his ambitions are forgotten. He trades the long-term respect that comes from discipline for the short-term pleasure of her validation. He thinks he's showing her she's his priority. What he's actually showing her is that she has the power to knock him off his center, that his own goals are flimsy and negotiable, and subconsciously, her respect for him begins to die. A man who will abandon his purpose for her will eventually abandon her for the next new thing. His word means nothing. A high-value man integrates a woman into his life. He does not build his life around her. His schedule is set by his priorities, not her whims. If he has plans to meet his buddies or work on his project, and she asks to see him, his answer is a calm, "I'm busy tonight, but I'm free Thursday. Let's do something then." This isn't a rejection. It's a demonstration of integrity. He's communicating that he is the captain of his own ship, and while he'd be happy to have her on board, the ship's destination is already set. Women test this constantly. They will subconsciously poke at your frame to see if it's solid. The moment you buckle, the moment you drop everything for her, the test is over. You failed. She may enjoy the convenience in the short term, but the magnetic pull of your masculine direction is gone. You're no longer the mountain. You're just a rock she can move around at will. This frame of self-worth over external validation extends directly to your resources. So let's talk about money. The fourth mistake, the one that turns you from a potential partner into a walking ATM, is paying for everything, always, without a second thought. Modern society has created a confused mess around this, but the principle is simple. A high-value man is generous, not a mark. He leads. On a first date, he pays. Period. It's a clear statement of intent and a gesture of his ability to take charge. But he's not just spending money, he's gathering data. He is watching her. When the bill comes, does she even look at it? Does she make a motion for her purse? Does she say thank you? Does she offer to get the tip? These are not trivial details. They are windows into her character. He is not looking for her to pay. He is looking for the spirit of partnership. By the second or third date, the dynamic should naturally evolve. If she never once offers to contribute, whether it's grabbing the tickets for the movie after he bought dinner or saying, "Let me get this one," she is sending a clear signal. The signal is, my presence is the prize, and your role is to finance it. A high-value man walks away from this dynamic instantly. He's not looking for a dependent, he's looking for a teammate. The man who insists on paying for absolutely everything is often operating from a place of insecurity. He's quietly thinking, if I don't pay, she might not see any value in spending time with me. He is using his wallet to compensate for a perceived lack in himself. He creates a transactional relationship, and then he has the audacity to be surprised when she treats him like a transaction. This leads to a lack of genuine connection. Stop trying to buy her affection. It's the cheapest kind, and it has no loyalty. Be generous because it is in your nature as a man to give, but never be afraid to step back and see if she has any intention of investing in you. A woman who is truly invested will want to contribute. A woman who is just along for the ride will be happy to let you foot the bill for the entire journey. Your bank account is a resource for building your empire, not for funding her lifestyle. This pattern of overinvestment, of placing her on a pedestal and sacrificing your purpose and resources, inevitably leads to the most pathetic place a man can find himself. This pattern of overinvestment, of placing her on a pedestal and sacrificing your purpose and resources, inevitably leads to the most pathetic place a man can find himself. It leads to the fifth and most soul-crushing mistake, begging for a second chance. When she finally loses respect, when the attraction fades and she delivers the inevitable text, "I don't think this is working out," your world implodes. Because she was your world. She was your purpose, so you crumble. You send the wall of text, a desperate, rambling manifesto of your feelings, pleading your case like a lawyer for a client you know is guilty. You call her, your voice cracking, promising you'll change. "I'll be better, just tell me what you want." You debase yourself. The final lie, the most dangerous one of all, is the one that tells you this is the end, that the divorce is a final judgment on your worth as a man, that your story is now one of failure. You see yourself as permanently damaged goods, a man defined by a loss. You imagine your future as a gray, diminished version of your past. This is the narrative of the victim, and if you accept it, you will spend the rest of your days as a ghost, haunting the memory of the life you once had. You will become that bitter man at the bar, telling the same story for 20 years, blaming a woman for a life he refused to rebuild. Here is the final brutal truth. This divorce is not the end of your story. It is the end of a chapter you were probably meant to finish long ago. This is not a failure, it's a graduation. It's the universe forcibly removing you from a situation that was stunting your growth, holding you back, and making you a lesser version of yourself. This pain, this fire, this demolition, it is a gift. It is a violent, unwanted, excruciatingly painful gift, but it is a gift nonetheless. It is the opportunity to burn away everything that wasn't truly you and build a life on your own terms, from the ground up, with the wisdom you earned in the flames. The mistake wasn't the divorce. The only mistake is thinking your life is over when it has in fact just been handed back to you. Your life isn't what you lose in the settlement, it's what you build with what's left. Subscribe now, because the blueprints for your new life are waiting. He gives her a 15-minute grace period, and then he leaves. He goes and enjoys his own evening. When she finally texts, "OMG, so sorry, where are you?" he might not even reply for hours. The silence is the message. The message is, my time is valuable, and if you don't respect it, you don't get it. If she makes a disrespectful joke at his expense, he doesn't laugh along to be a good sport. He gives her a calm, steady look of disappointment and changes the subject, or simply says, "That wasn't funny." He creates an uncomfortable moment, forcing her to confront the ugliness of her own behavior. He is teaching her through calm and immediate withdrawal how he expects to be treated. He is not her doormat. He is not her punching bag. He is the gatekeeper of his own peace, and the price of admission is respect. Period. When a woman knows that disrespect will result in the immediate and emotionless loss of your powerful masculine presence, she will either rise to the standard you set, or she will filter herself out of your life. Either way, you win. This unshakable standard is the armor that protects your very core, which brings us to the final, most fundamental thing a high-value man never does. He never sacrifices his identity. This isn't about abandoning your mission for a night. It's about setting fire to the entire map. It's the guy who loved rock music, but now his car stereo is filled with her pop playlists. The guy who lived for his Sunday motorcycle rides with his crew, but now spends every weekend at brunch with her friends, listening to conversations that drain his life force. He starts dressing differently, talking differently, adopting her opinions as his own. He does this because he believes the path to harmony is to erase all points of friction, to merge with her completely. He thinks he's compromising, but he's actually committing suicide of the self. He is systematically dismantling every unique, interesting, and edgy part of himself and replacing it with a bland, agreeable reflection of her. He becomes a mirror. And while a woman might like looking in a mirror for a moment, she will never ever be attracted to one. She cannot respect a man who does not have his own spine. She is drawn to the man who stands for something, who has his own tastes, his own passions, his own unwavering principles. A high-value man is a sovereign nation. He has his own culture, his own laws, his own anthem. He invites her to get a visa, to come and experience his world. He is not looking to dissolve his borders and become a province of her empire. He might compromise on what to have for dinner, but he will not compromise on his core values. He will not abandon his friends. He will not give up the hobbies that forge his character. This isn't about being stubborn or selfish. It's about remaining the man she was attracted to in the first place. You must be the rock in the storm of her emotions, not a leaf that gets blown around by every gust of her opinion. The moment you trade your identity for her approval, you have lost the one thing she can never give you back: yourself. The paradox is that the less you are willing to do to lose yourself to keep a woman, the more she will do to become a part of your world. Subscribe now, because the world has enough nice guys. It needs more grounded men.